Hello everyone and welcome to Garth Farms. Croeso I Cymru. This is the wonderful map by martinMLGAMER, and I have done a little bit of playing on here in a different save, and I've also done the first day of the game, which is August, because I hate that the game starts with just one day. It's really annoying. It bothers me a lot. So, what I did on the first day was I filled this silage bunker. I say filled, it's a massive silage bunker. We've got 180,000 litres. Now that has come from, and I really love this, Gales and Kutch. So the fields on here do not have numbers, they have names, which also means, look, you actually get names on all of the contracts, not numbers. That is so cool. I don't know why this is the first map to have that. Why? And Kutch, I love that as a name. Kutch is a proper Welsh word. It's difficult to explain a Kutch versus a hug or a cuddle, but it's like a hug, but it's a special kind of hug. Not an adult kind of hug, but a special kind of hug. So we've got grass in there, and grass in here, and grass in here. Those are the only 3 fields we own, I think. Yes. All I have done with the starting 100k is get some cows, just a couple of them. Also got a fuel tank and put some fuel in, because there is not actually a fuel station on this map, so just quickly bought that. What else did I do? Well, I bought some machinery. So I got this lovely John Deere, some front loader tooling, a leveler because I was really struggling, and then stuff to actually do grass. We don't have anything for feeding the cows just yet. We are going to need to get a bale spike at some point, I think. But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to cut the other field, and the other field is up here. This is Pandy. This field, stop doing that. My tractors keep having a... It's got nothing to do with the pedals. They just seem to want to go forward on this map. It's a bit weird. So, we need to cut Pandy and make hay, but I forgot that I'm actually going to turn realistic weather off this save because it's just a bit of a pain with hay. I think I'd rather just get the hay made. So, first thing I need to check though is, these are our cows. We've got a Hereford Bull called Earl, Spotty Maggie, I think she's called. Yep. Whisper and Uma. Now, they will take hay. Good. Because I have got, I think, pretty sure, we've got... I thought I had straw harvest turned on. Perhaps I don't. Let's do a quick check. Down here, I do have straw harvest. It is turned on. Odd. Right, I'm going to go and turn off realistic weather, and then we can get started with this work here. Okay, so that is now done. Realistic weather is off. As much as I like realistic weather, for making hay, it can be a real pain. So what we need to do now is get this guy turned on. I am using the new engine mod, which is quite nice. So, get this guy unfolded. We don't have a rear mower. I don't think this tractor could actually power one anyway, but it's also not really useful. We don't have... we don't really need a rear mower. I mowed the other 2 fields with just a single mower and it worked absolutely fine. My steering, despite me playing Farm Sim for the last few hours, while I should have been working, my steering wheel has just given up. Not particularly useful. I do need to reset him, but I'll do it in a bit. I can cope for now. So, you'll notice that I am miles away from the edges. I'm not doing a very good job of keeping the same distance all the way. I was meant to be about here, all the way around, and I've not done a very good job at that. So I'm going to have to tidy this up after. The yield on these grass fields has actually been pretty good. I am quite impressed with how much we got, because they're not massive fields, but as I showed you, I got 180,000 litres from some not massive fields, which is not bad. One thing I've also noticed on this map, which I do appreciate because with larger equipment it can be a pain, is, let me go internal for a second, we have hedges we can drive through. That is really useful, because sometimes when you've got bigger equipment and you just can't get through the gate, obviously you could use smaller equipment. Oops, what did I just do? I pressed the wrong button. You could use smaller equipment, but if it's a contract, for example, you have no say over what they give you. So if they give you something that's too big for a gate, you're stuffed. So it is nice to have the ability to go through hedges, even if not very realistic. I am going to try and do this realistically. We'll call it what most YouTubers call it, which is semi-realistic, especially as I've just turned the weather off. But yeah, we'll try and do things a little bit realistically. This job is obviously going to take a while, but I think we probably do need to get tedded and baled today. But I don't have a baler actually. But I do have hire purchase, so I could buy a baler. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this tractor is on hire purchase. Yeah. I'll have to check that in a second. I think I bought this tractor on hire purchase. But I think I chose the option where I pay a big chunk at the end. And now I've forgotten, which is not good. There are contracts available, and we will be doing contracting on here because, well, for one thing, our farm at the moment is dairy only. So to be able to do some other stuff, especially on other fields, we're going to have to take contracts. But I'm hoping we'll be doing okay money-wise. I think, don't remember completely. Oof, that's my wheels spinning a little. I think I am running this on easy economy, which I normally run on normal economy. But I can't be certain. I will double check that in a second. When we get to the end of here, I will fix my steering wheel, but I will also check the hire purchase, check whether I already got a baler, because I don't remember what equipment I got, and then I can also check the gameplay settings. So, first thing, do I have a baler? I do not. Would have been lovely if there was a baler available. So we can get a baler. We're going to have to. How much is it going to cost for a baler? Probably. We've got these lovely little square balers. I do like these. They're so cheap. It feels like cheating they're that cheap, but they're just old. They're really, really old. They're really good, I have to say. There's also the class quadrant, but it's much more expensive. That, I guess, is far too cheap. That would be more like it. I mean, if you look at the price for a brand new one, yeah, that seems more like it, the class quadrant. I've never used this one, though. Right. Stop messing around. So, into here. So with the hire purchase, you do get an additional menu. Ooh, yes. I have the 7810 on 3 years with no final fee. Okay. That's the loading wagon. That's on... oh, that's on 1 year. Okay. The Q7M. That must be the front loader. Okay, and then settings. Right, we are on easy. That's good. We are on easy. Now I will just quickly check my steering wheel. That's better. Basically, when I close the game down, the steering wheel spring stiffness just sometimes goes. It goes back to zero stiffness. It's a bit weird. So I just have to go and reset it, and then it's fine again. So I think after this headland, what I'm going to do is go around the field the opposite direction, and then we will start the up and downs. This would be better with a second mower, but yeah, this John Deere wouldn't be able to power it anyway. Now looking at those monthly fees, we are going to need to pick up quite a few contracts. We're basically going to have to pick up contracts whenever we can. So once we've got the hay, we need the hay for our animals, because I did put in, I think, 2 loads of grass from when I was cutting the other 2 fields. I put 2 loads into the cows instead of into the silage pit, because I knew the silage pit would take a while to be ready. So now the hay will be ready, and we're not going to do TMR just yet. There's no need to give TMR to cows that aren't giving me any product. It would increase their slurry amount, but I'm not particularly worried about slurry amount at the moment. We're going to try and use just slurry for these fields, but of course that's not going to be possible at the very beginning, because we don't have enough of it. So now that we've done that, we can go round the other way. I'm not cutting right to the edges either. I didn't do it on the other field. I don't think it's necessary to cut right to the edge. I know it means I'm leaving some grass, but I mean, I'm going to go a bit closer to the edge. This here will probably be the right sort of side. Yeah. So that's close enough, I think. Doesn't need to be right up to the edge completely. Ooh, I'm going off track. Missing bits. So here, for example, I'm also... Ooh, the tree is in my vision. I'm also doing curved corners. This is what I did on the other 2 fields. Square corners, yes, you get every tiny blade of grass, but it's just not worth the hassle. It's extra turning, and it's all about efficiency here. Although I do have to go back over some of these corners because they're a bit too wayward. Right, am I going to time-lapse the grass or the tedding? The mowing or the tedding, I should say. Probably the tedding, because I've just waffled on for so long with the mowing that it's not worth showing mowing for another 5 minutes. So I think I'll get these done, and then I will jump forward until the grass is done. I'm running at ×10. If that feels too fast, I will knock it down to ×6, or increase the number of days per month to 3. It depends. Just at the moment, it's a bit of a guessing game. Try and see what is the best type of setup. But I do really like this map. It's makes me feel a bit homesick. I know I don't have a Welsh accent when I talk, but I actually am Welsh. I can sound Welsh. I was tempted to do these videos in a Welsh accent the whole time, but I thought better of it. I thought that would probably annoy some people, and also confuse some people. But I was born and raised in Wales, so... And I don't think it was the inspiration, I'm not sure, because on the itch page, which is where this map is currently available, I'll put the link in the description, but on the itch page it says it's inspired by typical Welsh farms. I think that's what it says. But when I googled Garth Farm, I did get a farm outside of Cardiff. That came up. I don't know if the name is taken from there or any inspiration is taken from the real farm at all. Only Martin would know that, I suppose. And I did hear that he actually made this map for the purposes of doing a video series. Now there is something before I jump, because I'm going to go and do the mowing now. Let me just turn this off. Let me head over to the other farm, which is here. Yes. Now watch this. I can't play it for long because this is YouTube. So it plays the Welsh anthem when you walk into that trigger. Absolutely awesome. We've got field names and a national anthem that plays when you're in a trigger. What could be better? Right, I'm now going to jump ahead, get all the grass mowed. I'll be back when it's done. Field is mowed. It did take me longer than I thought it was going to. I did also have to refuel because I am using the mod that increases the operating hours to actually match the time you're running. Now, we're going to whiz through the windrowing, the tedding here, and hopefully the windrowing. I'm not going to get a chance to do the baling in this game day though, which is a little annoying, but c'est la vie, I guess. So I've set myself a little course here. I know which direction I want to be going on. Basically I want to be going here, pretty much straight, but I'm not doing a very good job of actually going straight. I picked an angle of 354. That seemed to be pretty perpendicular. It no longer seems to be perpendicular. Anyway, we are going to whiz through this on a time lapse. So I'll see you in a minute when it's all done.
I don't know who you are, I don't know what you've been through, why you got scars. Since you walked through the door, I've been trying to reach you, 'cause I feel you. What's the story to tell? What's the story behind the mountain you're trying to climb? Think I've heard it before in a movie line. We can write our own ending this time. I wanna say no, but I cannot lie. I am so curious about your life, but you're a stranger trying to hide. What I see is not, you don't deny. I wanna see the rest of you tonight. Seven of you and only one is for real. You spin me around and you make believe. Seven of you and only me. How can I trust your personality? Seven you and only one is for real. Let me be the one that makes you feel. Seven you and only me. Seven you and only one is for real.
feeling in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right and make up for what I've lost. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. Things turn around, didn't ever think they could. I'm done with the bad, I need a little bit of good. Settled in the world, like everything is new. Stepped on a path that led me straight to you. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should.
Well, as you can see, I did not do a particularly good job with headlands in terms of making sure that I needed the same number of headlands all the way around the field. I did a pretty shocking job with that. I also didn't do a great job with the timing. I really thought we'd be able to get this tedded before the darkness came. But apparently I got that wrong as well. So just got these few bits at the end of the field, at each end, that need to be tidied up. So I will do that off camera. Next time we're going to get this windrowed and baled. In fact, I may even do the windrowing quickly off camera in the morning of the next day. But because we're going to want to get the bales out of the field as well, so we need to get the bales out of the field and also get the windrowing and baling done. So yeah, I think I'll do the windrowing off camera. For now though, that is going to be it. We've got most of the field done, but just these little bits. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.